You know, I often read comments and hear from other YouTubers who will tell you to keep away from Filipina single mums because of the baggage that they have. I sit back and wonder how many of these people throwing out such advice to others have actually been in a serious relationship with a Filipina single mum. Now, we all know that not every relationship will work out, and that's just life. But is there any truth to what these people say around keeping away from single Filipina mums, or can being in a serious relationship with such a woman be rewarding and worthwhile? In this video, I'll give you my perspective on this from a man who's married a single Filipina mum over 7 years ago and living in a foreign country. So I'm not someone who's just repeating what they hear others say, but someone who has and is actually living out such a relationship. So if you want to find out more, then be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. Just before we dive into the video, if you're looking to find your Filipina soulmate, then be sure to check out my affiliate link in the pinned comment and description to the Philippines' #1 dating site, where you can view tens of thousands of beautiful Filipina profiles right now. Most foreign guys who go seeking a Filipina are mature-age men over the age of 50, and as such, who of us has no baggage left over from previous relationships and experiences in our life? No doubt that part of becoming older and wiser is to have baggage that we all need to deal with, learn from, and move on. Who of you men out there who have had children to a previous relationship would consider those children as baggage? And would you expect that a potential partner would shy away from you just because you tell her that you've had a child or two previously? Now, of course, the situation with a Filipina single mum may be a little different, where she may have younger children who may still be at home. But does this mean those children should be seen as baggage or potentially a blessing? Some guys will say that there's no way they'll ever raise another man's child. And when I hear this, the first thing that comes to my mind is that they have a selfish attitude. Now, don't get me wrong here. Everyone is free to choose the woman that they want to be in a relationship with. But really, such a statement tells me much about that person. Some guys may never want to be a father again, and others may only want to bear a child himself with a Filipina, and I do get this. But to say publicly, never be in a relationship with a Filipina who's a single mum is ludicrous. Now, for sure, that type of relationship may not be for him. But it can and does work out for many other guys. And how do I know? Because so many men and Filipinas have told me so over the years. I also hear the same guys say that the child will always come first and will cause many problems in your relationship. Seriously, are these guys psychic? Well, I say, is there some sort of competition going on here? Because I know for me that I've never felt my daughter comes first in any way, because we're all a family and we all look after one another as needed. Sometimes she'll require more attention in the same way that I will at certain times. Anyone who tries to tell you that there's some sort of competition at play here really has an immature outlook. And if such a relationship did fail because of issues with a child, then I say the relationship was never secure and was always doomed for failure. It amuses me when some people say that raising another man's child, you'll be reminded of the other man each and every day. Well, again, a very immature statement to make. I understand a younger man with little life's experience making such a statement, but a more mature person should never think that way. As the relationship grows between the man and the child, the man will see the child for who they are, and the bond will forge. Again, I speak from experience here. I've watched my daughter grow and learn so much since she came to live with us in late 2016. Our relationship has become very close, and in fact, I can tell you that I never do look at her and think of her biological father. I look at her and see her grow, and I'm super proud of her. So if someone ever tells you that you'll only be ever reminded of your Filipina's ex, then call them out for what they are. And that is immature. Another thing that these guys all bring up is that the biological father won't be paying anything at all for the child, which is absolutely true. But let me say, It's the same with many men all over the world. But do I begrudge my wife and I for paying for my daughter to give her many wonderful opportunities in life that she would never have had if she was still in the Philippines? Absolutely not. The money we spend on her isn't my money, it's our money. And right there is a big difference. And from this, you can tell what type of relationship one has. My wife works very hard, as do I, to create a family income. This income covers all expenses and savings, which part of is of course to give our daughter what she needs as she grows towards becoming an adult. I can assure you that none of this is about being a white knight or a knight in shining armour, as some may say, looking to save a Filipina and her child. And again, anyone who throws this line out there is plainly immature in life. In the end, it all comes down to what a man is looking for to fulfill his life. Now, when I was looking for a Filipina to be in a relationship with, I wasn't purposely looking for one who had a child, but by the same token, I wasn't going to rule that out either. I knew if I found a woman who I felt was the one, and she happened to have a child, then I would accept that child as part of our relationship. And I believe that's the attitude one needs to have from the very start if such a relationship is to succeed long term. If one is hung up on the fact that your Filipina had a life before you where she had a child, and now you may resent her or the child for this, then yes, forget about being in a relationship with a Filipina who is a single mum. I can assure you that such relationships are for mature-minded men who will embrace the Filipina and the child for all their qualities and flaws, where they stick together through the good times and not so good. Now for sure, any child can present extra challenges to any relationship, but these challenges will only affect you as a couple should you allow them to. So be prepared to work through all issues that crop up along the way, as you'll need to do when other issues arise between you and your Filipina. You can choose to either allow the relationship to be fractured, or you can both work out the issues at hand to become stronger as a couple and as a family. I can tell you from my own experience that my daughter has brought so much more joy and happiness into my life than I could ever have imagined. And if I had the attitude of some of these people, I'd be so much poorer as a person. So don't let these guys, and in some cases even women, try and tell you that dating a single Filipina mum should be off limits. Consider all your options rather carefully, and if you find the right Filipina who just so happens to have a child, then don't let that put you off from having what could be the best and most rewarding relationship and family of your life. And as I say, I know this because I'm not just some person repeating some old cliches. I have, and I am living it, and so can you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.